in the National Football League. Oh, gosh, what a weekend, too. The Giants, they're in desperate straits, taking on a Panthers team coming off a bye. The Titans at 3-1. Same thing with the Dolphins and Bengals. Talk about surprise records for some teams. The Ravens coming off that win over Pittsburgh with Baker Mayfield in his first home start. And then the late window games, Chargers, Raiders, Seahawks, perfect Rams, winless Cardinals, only winless team remaining in the NFL, taking on the 49ers around that NFC Championship game rematch in the late window, leading up to Cowboys, Texans on Sunday night football. As always, Steve Mariucci, you get the first word on NFL Game Day morning.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, we do have a rematch of the NFC Championship game. The Vikings at the Eagles. Last year, you remember, it was Nick Foles against Case Keenum. This year, the pressure will be on two different quarterbacks, Carson Wentz and, yes, Kirk Cousins. This is going to be a huge game. Both teams desperately need this win. They're both coming off losses from last week. Big game in Philly today.
Well, I'm just going to take that theme from you about teams. Quarterbacks have pressure on them, teams that get a must win. I'm talking about Atlanta and Pittsburgh, two teams that everybody thought would be competing for a Super Bowl championship this year. Yet here we sit after 4 weeks and only 2 wins between them. Only 2 wins between them with all this talent on the field. And now it's even more important than that because it's not just their win-loss record, but you look in their divisions, and if they lose today, they could be down 3 games after 5 weeks. And now there's actually been 5 teams in the last 30 years that have come back being down 3 after 5 weeks to win their division. But obviously, it's not an easy thing. So loser of this game, man, they're in dire straits for the rest of the season.
Yeah, for me, guys, I mean, we always have these wars every Sunday. But what wins the war is that battle, that little personal battle that goes on within the war. And the personal battle, well, let's just take a look at how it got started this week.
I'm always up for a challenge, you know. To get my name out there more, I need to go up against more talent like him.
He's good for what he does for their team. You know, he made All-Pro as a return specialist. Let's get that right. As a return specialist his rookie year.
He's all right, I guess.
I made All-Pro in my position as a corner. Went to the Pro Bowl as a corner. So it's not a wide receiver versus corner matchup. So we can get that out of the way off bat.
I can't wait to line up against him, and I hope he presses me.
If he won't smoke, it'll get there.
It's right there. It is the return specialist, let's get that right, against the I corner. That is the battle right there going on inside that war. That's going to be a great battle to watch.
I think they misspelled I on your lower third right there.
I, yes, put them in I.
Because the R and the L would be silent in I. You know, I love that. You could see Jalen Ramsey was kind of like trying to keep from laughing, knowing what he was doing, knowing every syllable coming out of his mouth and the way he was delivering.
This is different now.
It was just fantastic. And again, that's all in the early window right there, leading up to that late window game of your note right there. And then I can't look forward more to Sunday Night Football. Deshaun versus Dak, Houston versus Dallas. Winner needs it in the worst way. You know, 2-3. It'd be interesting. Houston would love to be 2-3. Dallas, if they're 2-3 by the end of the night, they're wondering what the heck's going on.
We don't use must win very often, but it's amazing how many of us up here are leaning in that direction. How many must-win games there are?
That's right.
Five.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the I corner taking on the return specialist are going to need ponchos. And Kansas City was about an hour ago during
that I
Good
corner
Morning
likes
Football, just absolutely pouring rain.
That I
James
corner
Palmer,
likes that.
the James Palmer do. Oh, you still got it, man. I mean, it's like soccer hair what you got going on right there. Good job out of you.
They tented me up, Rich, and I appreciate the effort by everyone here involved. Now, with Irv's matchup, we'll see how the weather impacts that. I just talked to the Chiefs equipment staff, and they told me they put 7 studs, those long cleats, in everyone's locker. The weather will be an impact throughout this one. Now let's go to Aditi Kinkhabwala in Pittsburgh.
James, the last few times we've seen the Pittsburgh Steelers on this field, they've come out very flat. This week, head coach Mike Tomlin said he's not interested in anything psychological, only the tangible. So how's this for tangible? In the Steelers' last 3 home games, they've fallen into a 56-0 combined hole in the first quarter. Now let's go to Cleveland and Tom Pelissero.
Aditi, the Ravens defensive coordinator, told players he thinks Baker Mayfield is this generation's Favre or Elway. And they can see why on tape. But Mayfield hasn't faced a defense like the one he will today in his first home start for the Browns. Star safety Eric Weddle told me, I'm not crowning him anything yet. Let's go to Stacey Dales in Detroit.
Good morning, Tom. These Packers come in injured at wide receiver. Randall Cobb, he's already out. Devontae Adams, we think he's going to go. He's questionable with the calf. Geronimo Allison, keep your eye on him. He didn't practice all week. Concussion protocol. Came up with a hamstring injury. He's still questionable, but he's the one to watch. And then the rookie, Valdez Scantling. Keep your eye on him. He should lead all those rookies in terms of snaps today. Right now, I send you to Philadelphia and Kim Jones.
Good morning, Stacey. The Eagles have the best rushing defense in the league. The Vikings, the worst rushing offense. Count on Kirk Cousins continuing to sling it around today, especially with Dalvin Cook banged up. Now for more, here's Ian Rappaport.
Thanks, Kim. Let's get to the health of some big-time running backs. First of all, Bengals star running back Joe Mixon, who actually had knee surgery to trim his meniscus early in the season, missed a couple games. He is officially back today, so healthy that he is not even on the injury report. Meanwhile, sidekick Gio Bernard not going to play. As far as Dalvin Cook in that game that you are at, Kim, I am told he is a long shot to play for the Minnesota Vikings, something they are not counting on, which means you're going to see a lot of Latavius Murray unless Dalvin Cook makes some sort of miraculous recovery before kickoff. And finally, the Jaguars and star running back Leonard Fournette, they are not going to have him today. He was already ruled out, not on Friday, but on Wednesday. And I'm told the hamstring is basically where it was a couple weeks ago. He could miss next week's game as well, Rich, at least.
All right. Interesting right there. How about that? Leonard Fournette's played essentially just a couple of snaps this year, and the Jaguars are still 3-1 going into Kansas City today with a piece of the AFC South lead. You could see some of the fantasy bold-faced names expected to play today, with Lamar Miller being a game-time decision tonight. Please hashtag us, Game Day Roll Call, with you getting fired up for today. How about that hashtag? Jericho Cotchery caught it. I want to be on the Rich Eisen show.
Really?
Game Day Roll Call. I mean, this gentleman's all over the map. Tyrone Jenkins. I like it.